A new game.
Statue!
Higher stakes. Can you survive until the end? And death is closer than ever. 456 players enter a game they never saw coming. The prize? A massive fortune. But the penalty? A ruthless death. While in the airport, Seong received a mysterious phone call from a guy telling Seong he will regret escaping the game. Seong didn't pay him any attention and bought a knife to get rid of the microchip that the game planted in his neck. So now they can never track him no more. Seong wasn't the only survivor. Cause Officer John also woke up in a hospital where he was treated. Soon after, he remembered when he participated the game to look for his brother. But unfortunately, his brother is one of the game admins, whose name is Lin Hugh, aka. The frontman Lin Hugh shoot John after finding out his identity as a frontman. But luckily, John fell to the ocean, and later he been rescued. 3 years later, John keeps on with his life, as he is no longer an investigation officer, and now he is just a traffic officer. And while he is watching the traffic, Seong was driving too fast, so John stopped him, took Seong's license to check it, then let him go away. Later on, John decided to check Seong's name on the police register, and he was surprised cause he found out that Seong has a company funding money to find missing people. Only to know that Seong is John couldn't get over what happened on the island where the game took place, so he went to meet Park, the man who took him out of the ocean. John opened up the maps to know exactly where Park found his body, cause the game's island should be close enough to this spot, and after good looking, John could have a good idea about the island location. Meanwhile, Seong was still having nightmares about what happened on the island. Seong then wanted to stop this game forever, as he knew that they were now looking for new players. Seong paid 2 people, giving them all of the information he knew, asking them to get the guy recruiting new players. The 2 guys started looking for the recruiter, till they finally saw him in a subway station. The recruiter played the same slapping game he played with Seong at the first season, but this time he played it with Myung. So Seok and Kim started to follow him, as now they are sure he is the one. While running, Jun, Myung's ex-girlfriend, called him, but Myung couldn't answer. The fact is, Jun also got invited to the Squid Games, and now she doesn't know what to do. Seok and Kim was still spotting the recruiter, who was acting weirdly, so they filmed him and sent the video to Seong. Seok and Kim then went to follow the recruiter, who was smart enough to catch them both. Then he started to hit them hard before kidnapping them. The recruiter then started to play Russian roulette with them both. He was adding bullets to his gun in order to add some action to the game, which ended by killing Kim, leaving Seok speechless. On the other hand, Seong managed to follow a lead, till he finally arrived at the recruiter's room. Seong thought that the recruiter is the main guy behind the Squid Games, but he told Seong that he is only appointed to do the dirty work, killing players who lose, get rid of dead bodies. He even had to kill his father before. The recruiter then refused to let Seong leave, so he started to play Russian roulette again with Seong. Fortunately, the bullet hit the recruiter and killed him. Seong then looked at the recruiter's pocket, finding a mysterious envelope in it, so he decided to keep it. Meanwhile, Myung arrived at the same hotel. He then set Seok free, then went to the room where Seong was beside the recruiter's body. But before Myung arrested Seong, Seok came in and hit Myung to let Seong escape. But Seong had a different plan. He checked the envelope he found at the recruiter's pocket, finding an address and a date on it, so he knew he will pay that place a visit. But first of all, he need a gang with him, so he awakened Officer Myung, telling him all about what happened. Then took Myung and Seok to show them the weapons he got, asking them both to go with him to the address he found. Also asked Myung to retire his police job, and offered him and Seok good amount of cash. But first of all, they needed to practice a little, and they started to shoot as a practice, as they are ahead of a war with Squid Games people. Little far from Seong and his brand new gang, a poor girl named Neol was sleeping at the park as she is homeless, and all she wanted is to get money to find her daughter. The new recruiter found her knowing her bad situation and asked her to join the Squid Games, telling her the big prize. So Neol accepted the invitation without any doubt. Finally, Seonggong was ready to the big day as they went to the address, which was a club. All of them stood outside waiting for any signal, till they saw two guards in Squid Game's uniform. So Seok and Myung went to the club. But the guards were fast and clever. They hit Seok and kidnapped Seong and ran away. Myung found out what happened, so he told his colleagues to follow the guard's car. In the guard's car, Seong tried to convince the front man to stop the games. Of course he refused, and told Seong he would finish him if he didn't join. So Seong decided to join the games again, just before he got anesthetized with gas. That was Seong well indeed, as he had a tracker with him, and just like that, his gang will know exactly where the game's island is. Neol also got herself ready to join the game, but surprisingly, she will join as a guard, not as a player. Seong woke up to find himself in the game uniform, surrounded with other players. Guards then entered the place to tell them about the rules, as they will stay there for 6 days. The winner can leave with a prize of $45 billion US. Anyone can leave after any game getting all the cash he won. When players started to ask about their phones, guards revealed videos were taken by the recruiters, saying that they didn't force any of them to participate. Yong, another player, then told the guards that his mother is also participating, and he was worried about her safety. None of the guards show any empathy, telling again that they never force anyone to join, and there will be no exceptions due to their age. Now all of the players started to fill the game form, but then two players, Thanos and Nam, started to fight, till other players separated them. Seong then went to fill the papers. This time he read it carefully, knowing that he would never leave the game without getting himself killed. The only way to stop the whole game is to vote after every single game to stop the games. Meanwhile, Myung and his gang arrived to the island and started to follow the tracker signal, only to find themselves surrounded by fishermen, and they even found the tracker, means that they will never know where Seong is now. Seong, who was in the game's ground, started to worry cause his friends didn't show up, so he checked his tracker, only to find it missing. And now he will have to participate in the first game, the famous green light, red light. If anyone moves when the doll says red light, he will be immediately killed. Seong started to shout at everyone, telling them to follow his orders, warning them that anyone who would move when the light is red will be killed. But no one believed him. During the game, Seong was leading the players well, till Thanos told a player that she has an insect on her neck. The girl panicked and moved. Then she was immediately shot. Seeing her in blood, other players started to run away, as they didn't know they could been killed. And again, as the red was light, guards started to kill them all, especially Naol, who was a sniper guard. After this mess, Seong asked the rest to follow his voice, saying that the doll has 2 motion sensors in her eyes, so they need to hide behind bigger ones in order to survive. They started to follow him, but we could see Thanos taking some drugs to calm him down. Players then started to move perfectly, but Thanos wanted to reduce the numbers, so he pushed a couple of players, who were immediately shot. After getting to the end line, Seong saw a player who were shot but still alive, so he went back to help him. But again, Neol killed the injured player. After the game, all of the players went to the hall as guards started the vote. Seong asked all of the players to vote for quitting, cause the games will be even worse, and many people will be killed. Thanos asked him how could he be so sure, so Seong told them that he had played the games before. Guards asked all of the players to keep voting. They voted until the vote was even, and only one player is left. The player then voted to stay, so now they all have to keep paying. After the end of the vote, all of the players asked Seong about the next game. He told him they will have to cut a shape without breaking the whole circle and promised he will keep helping them all. Only then, Yang and Thanos started to fight each other's. So player number 1, who is known as Sanho, decided to stop this fight and hit them both, forcing them to stop. In the night, Sanho started to talk to Seong, admitting that he only participated to get money for his sick wife. In the guard's place, we can see that they are trying to get rid of the dead bodies, only to find many of bodies shot twice. They knew that Neol was the one who did this, so they took her to the chief officer. The officer asked her not to do it again, but she told him to bring her daughter, otherwise she would do whatever she wants. Back again to the games, the next day guards asked the players to divide in groups of 5, as they will play 5 games in 5 minutes. Who can finish them will be pass. Now all of the players couldn't believe Seong anymore, as that wasn't the game he told them about. Seong get along with 4 partner, and the game started. This time the 5 players will get their legs tied together, and only one of them can play a single game of the 5 games. The first 2 teams started to play, they couldn't make it, and the fact they are all tied to each other's made it even harder, so they failed. Guards then started to shoot them in front of everyone else, then put the dead bodies in coffins. But when Neol spotted one of them still moving, she shoot him over and over again, making other guards upset, as she was clearly going against the rules. While everyone's still in shock, Seongs tried to calm his team down, saying they have to do their best in order to stay alive. So they started to courage themselves and promised to play with no fear, even if it would be their last minutes. The next team was Yong and his mother. They did it well and could win. The game kept going. Many teams could win, such as Thanos' team, and who couldn't win were immediately shot. Now it's finally Seong's team turn. They were playing well and smooth till it's Sanho's turn. In the beginning he couldn't do it, and missed over and over, but eventually he could do it just before the minute end. So they won and passed to the next game. All of the passing players then went back to the restroom, but now no one likes Seong, as he told them false information about the next game, but Seong started to make friends with his team, so now they will save each other. In the guards' room, 2 guards hit Neol, and they even cut her face, telling her not to shoot the bodies more than once again, threatening her by cutting her finger if she did it ever again. Guards then went to hall, as players have to vote now, and as usual, Seong couldn't convince them to quit. As there is more money now, all of them got greedy, and the last decision was to keep going with the games. After the vote, Yong's mother couldn't believe that her son voted to keep playing, but Yong told her about his huge debt, and winning the game will be his only way to survive. Among other teams also, players who vote to quit was upset with who voted to stay, but now they didn't have any other option but to play. But what happened during the vote made players upset with each other, and they even started a couple of fights. So Seong had an idea. He asked his teammates to sleep under their beds, and they will take turns watching for each other, in case any fight could happen. But the night ended well. The next day, Myung and his group was still searching the island, as they are now blind without the tracker. So Myung asked them to get divided in 2 groups. Each group search alone, to cover more area and earn some time. Back again to the games ground, guards told the players the next game will be hard. They all will get to a spinning land, then the screen will show a number. They then will have to form this number in just 30 seconds and run to the nearest room. If they couldn't make it back to the room, they will all be killed. The game then started, and the first teams get to the spinning land. The screen showed the number 30, but they couldn't form it, so they were all been killed. Next number was 4, so Seong took 3 of his friends and ran to the room. Ones who couldn't form the teams were killed. This time Neol was accurate and only shot once, as she knew she would lose her finger if she shoot more than once. The game then kept going, and who formed the right number were get back to the spinning land, who couldn't were been killed. The last number was 2, so every 2 players rushed to the rooms, but Sanho found out he has a 3rd person, so he quickly killed him, and just like that he kept his life. In the meantime on the island, Myung used a drone to get a better look. During the survey, he spotted a hidden door, so he took all his fellows and went there. While they tried to open it, a bomb came out of nowhere, making a huge impact, killing one of Myung's colleagues. After the collapse, Myung was so keen to go back to that door, as he was so sure there was a secret beyond it. But after their colleague died, they refused to get back to the door. Myung then started to doubt that they have a spy, cause no way anyone would know they would attack that door, so he decided to be more careful. Back again to Seong, who decided to convince the players to vote for quitting, as the game will be much more difficult, and more of them will be killed. Then, when the vote started, the votes were 50-50, as there are only 100 players still alive. As that was a draw, guards told the players they will re-vote the next day. What happened made most of the players upset. They even started to fight. And smart Seong found metal forks with the dinner, as the guards wanted the players to kill each other. In fact, that was a perfect plan, as who vote for staying started to fight who vote for leaving, trying to make each others change their mind. Thanos got engaged in a fight. Them he was stabbed with the metallic fork and left to bleed to death, while the fight was going on, and now 5 more people were killed, most of them from people who vote for staying. After the end of the fight, all of the players were back to their beds, back again to Myung's team, as we could see that Park is the spy, and when someone caught him, he killed him immediately and kept going. Meanwhile, in the restrooms, the players decided to kill each other when the light goes off, and once the light went off, there was a huge fight. All of the players started to kill each other, but Seong hid under his bed, waiting for this chaos to stop. After several deaths, guards entered the room, asking all of the players to get to their beds or they would kill them. Seong and his teammates act as they are dead, and when the guards came closer to get rid of their bodies, they attacked the officers and took their weapons. Now the players had guns, and they started to shoot guards, killing many of them. So the chief officer asked the rest of the guards to leave quickly, but the players managed to arrest one of the guards, keeping him with them, as they are now locked in their room. Su could easily kill all of the guards on the stairs, but there were many other guards who opened fire to kill them. They even killed the kidnapped guard. So Seong decided to go with another guy called Jung to find the front guys, as the guards are busy fighting back. Seong went close and opened a mysterious door, only to find many other guards, and he had to kill as many as he could. The problem was that the other team was out of ammo, so they send some to collect ammo from dead guards. Seong also had to do the same, even though it was too risky. But then, Sonho started to kill the players, as no one could see him, telling Seong that they were shot by the guards. Then he acted as if he was also shot. Things got out of control quickly, and the guards came in larger numbers to defend the place. Only then, the players knew they would never won this. So many of them surrendered. Another committed a suicide. Guards also surrounded Jung and Seong, who gave up their weapons and surrendered. The front guy then came out of his office, pointed the gun at them both, but only killed Jung. At the last scene, we could see the players who still alive been taken to the playing ground, where there were 2 dolls for the green light, red light game. So how will Seong survive after all what happened? And how would be the game? What will we see at the 3rd and last season? So stay tuned. The competition is getting even deadlier. What will happen in the next round? The end.